Right. Welcome to the first episode of the podcast. Today, we will be talking about Nokotan Theories and how the Shika network actually works. So, my first theory is Ryo and Neko are siblings, and there are multiple reasons for this theory. I'll explain 3 reasons why this theory is true. Because, first of all, they have the same last name. Coincidence? I think not. They must be related. Also, another reason is that they both make cat faces in the shows, and Ryo has shown to have a cat expression multiple times in Bocchi the Rock, and Neko is a cat, so she's imitating her sister. And finally, the last reason being that they both have the same hair clip in their hair. They must be sisters, because who else would use the same hair clips? Their hair clips must have come in pairs that they bought at the store, and they decided just to share it. Now, then, who is the older sister is the real question. Well, Neko says that she's a 3rd year, and Ryo is a 2nd year in high school, so that means Neko is the older sister between the pair of the sisters. And then you ask, why is the hair color different? But that's an easy question to answer, and that is because Neko likes to dye her hair red, so her hair color is naturally blue, like Ryo. And now, onto our next theory. It is about Nokotan and how she's related to Kenjaku. Spoilers here for JJK, so be aware of this. Kenjaku did not actually die. He just switched brains with Nokotan, and that's why her head is empty. It's because Kenjaku removed her brain. Kenjaku is actually using Nokotan's cursed technique of antlers. It is a very powerful technique with being able to heal people, such as seen in the show. Plus, she had multiple offensive capabilities as well, such as using the antlers as bombs, and other weapons like the antlers, lightsaber, and other weapons as well. Not to mention, she can fly with her secret technique dare to fly around like a helicopter. Now, you ask, what happened to the original Nokotan? And the original Nokotan, you see, was hunted by hunters, and unsuccessfully lost her battle against the hunters. And that's where Kenjaku found her body and took over and became Nokotan. I'll back this claim further up by that both of these animes take place in Japan, so it is very possible that Kenjaku took over her body. And the thing is that Kenjaku knew he wasn't strong enough to face off against Gojo in Geto's body. So he knew he had to take over someone else's body who was stronger. And the perfect candidate would have to be Nokotan, because she is supposed to rival Sukuna's strength. And Nokotan would have easily beaten Gojo in a 1v1 situation. Finally, I will be explaining how the Shika network actually works. The Shika network is a very complex cloud computing network. The way that it works is that the dares are the eyes and the ears for the computer, and everything that they see and hear gets transmitted back to the cloud. And the cloud is a network that all the dares share, so anything they see or hear means Nokotan sees and hears as well. And that's how Nokotan was able to avoid being hit by Anko's attack in episode 2, as well as how she was able to know all that information in the competition in episode 2 as well. And we all know that Nokotan has jobs and works to make money, like working in the zoo. But I believe one way she can make additional income is by renting out the Shika network. She could sell access to the network for a subscription service. Nokotan would give them the information they want from the Shika network. It would be a cash cow for Nokotan. She would be able to make constant revenue from a subscription service just for access to the network. And then she could buy all the data crackers she wants. And this would be a valuable technology because multiple countries and companies would want it. Imagine being able to find out anything about anyone. The Shika network would have so much data on everyone. And this concludes the first podcast. Leave any comments on what you want the second podcast to be about.